Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk, back again with another fancy fold card for you, or at least it's a kind of fancy fold. I don't know if there's others like this. It's just a variation on a gatefold card with a panel on the front, and this is part of the Quirky Critters series that I'm doing with on the Poodles design team, which is using this set here, and you know, they're great sort of fun sentiments. You're special, want to say a quick hello. I thought this would be great for sending somebody a quick note, and I've used one of the new border punches. I haven't had a new border punch for a while, and this one just creates a really pretty sort of ribbon effect. I'm not sure I chose the right colours for the front, but hey, you know, I've used them. I'm going to do a slightly different colour variation. We'll see what that one looks like. So it's a very straightforward card. There are literally two scored lines, and the rest of it is just matting and layering. So a quick one to put together. What you're going to need is a piece of cardstock, which I've already cut to size, and that is 8 by 5 3/4. Which is 20 by 14.5, and in the portrait orientation you are going to score that at 3, so that's 7.5 centimetres, and at 7 inches, which is I'll double check and let you know. Where are we? So 17.5. Yeah, okay, so that's our basic scoring, and that is all we're going to do with scoring. The rest of it is just some sticking and gluing. So important to really burnish these folds down well, because obviously the card will your card won't go together well otherwise. I've obviously done that slightly wonkily, so just a little bit of, here we go. Clearly wasn't paying attention. So that's our basic card, so as simple as that, and then the rest of it is about adding some layers. So we're going to do the inside layer first. So this is using Tranquil Tide, one of the new in colours, and I'm now going to just layer this with some So Saffron, and I'm challenging myself to use some slightly different colour kind of. I tend to do shades and tone on tone, but I'm really trying to kind of mix it up a little bit, and this is one of the colour combinations that's suggested on a sheet which is available from your demonstrator, which gives some colour combinations for all of the new in colours. I'm then using some of the Fresh Florals DSP, and I've got 2 strips here. They're 5.5 inches long, so 14 centimetres, and this one on the right is 7/8 of an inch, 2 centimetres, so 14 by 2, and 5.5 by 7/8 of an inch, and this one here, check, is 2 3/4 by 5.5, which is 7 by 14. So just layer that on there. Okay, so there's our layering. Now I've already cut a couple of ribbons using the punch, but I just want to show you how to use that. So I'm just taking a scrap of So Saffron here. Once you release the punch, which is using this little lever on the back, so standard fold flat punch, take your piece of card and you'll see you can line it up at either edge, and that's where the punching starts. So pop your card in there, keeping it flush to the top, so just flush there, and just press nice and firmly. Then move it to your left and you'll see there's some silver and grey. Line up until you can just see the silver. So once it's shining, you know you're safe to punch. Press down again, repeat. Yeah. If you're ever not sure, just pull it down and have a look, and then press, and then you get a lovely little ribbon effect which you can use to decorate. So I thought I'd put a piece of the So Saffron on the front and a piece of Peekaboo Peach, because my layers that I'm going to use are using those 2 colours. So to attach these, I found the best way to do it was to literally come in and just very gently use the fine tipped glue to kind of go around that pattern. You could use the technique we've used before, which is to use a silicone sheet and a a piece of sponge and some Tombow, that would work just as well. And what I should have done is actually attach this really before I cut my DSP, so, or before I stuck my DSP on, so I'm just going to come in and snip there, okay, and so do the same on the top. And you just be sparing with this glue. If you suddenly find you've put a bit much on, you just leave it for a few seconds just to sort of dry a little bit more. Just make sure with this fine tip glue that as soon as you've finished using it, you put the lid on. It's rather like the crystal effects that we used to have, or that you can still get a version of, like glossy accents, and it dries really hard. So when you've finished using it, just put that needle back in the top there like so and screw it down, and you should have no problems. So I'm just going to layer that across the top, and again just come in and snip like so. And then I've got some layers here of card. So I've got some Peekaboo Peach, and that is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Then a 3 by 3 inch layer of Tranquil Tide. So 7 by 7. This one's 6 1/2 by 6 1/2. So standard 1/4 inch increments, or 1/2 centimetre. Some also saffron. And this one is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, 6 by 6 inches. Then we've got our piece of Whisper White. So now we're going to do some stamping. So I've taken the Quirky bird, and I'm using our basic black ink. And I should just stand up for this. Just wanted to say hello. I'll just leave that to dry for a moment. And while that's drying, literally all I'm going to do is just layer this up. Sorry, apologies, I've got my phone going. That's not like me at all. And that's it on my iPad. Oh, I love kids. That was my kids' company. I suspect they've gone shopping and they fancy me spending some more money. Right, so all I've done is put a layer of glue down this edge here and then centred that on the front there to give us our effect. And then while that's still drying, I've then punched a piece of Tranquil Tide in the ribbon effect as well. And I'm just going to snip that before. One side, and no doubt I'll get another call in a few moments going, Mum. I was taking advantage of the fact that older brother had taken younger brother off shopping. I'm very lucky we're quite close to Birmingham Airport where I live, and there's an outlet centre there, so it's great except for my wallet, because there happens to be one of this big sports company brands there has an outlet store, and as my one boy is very much into his sport and he's encouraging my younger one to very much get into his sport, they are no doubt finding lots of things for me to part with my money. So there we go. While that's drying, then let's get on with colouring our bird. So I have got a bit of Peekaboo Peach and a bit of So Saffron, and I'm then going to just use my aqua painter. I'm really trying to improve my aqua painter techniques. I think it's actually very forgiving, so let's see how this one turns out. So I always just put a little bit to one side to make sure it's not too strong, because I want a paler colour to start off with. So I'm going to make our bird rather nice to try and go sort of dark around the outside, but sort of blend that in. As I say, I'm still sort of experimenting. I think like every crafter, you know, we sort of, you know, we've all got sort of room to learn. It's something that I've always wanted to be able to paint. In my mind, I understand the principle of how to do it. Unfortunately, my mind doesn't quite, or my hands don't quite accept that that I can paint. So when I do try and paint it, I'm afraid I'm a bit of a matchsticks, and that's about it. I'm a little bit beyond that, but not a lot. So I'm just coming in with a little bit more of the stuff. It's a softer colour. I'm going to give him some peekaboo peach legs as well. He's going to be a very orange bird. I'm not sure he looks quite right just like that, so I think what I'm going to do is pop in a bit of Tranquil Tide. And see if we can perhaps jazz this bird up a little. I'm just using my tissue here just to blot, because I'm using standard paper rather than watercolour paper. There we go. Oh, that's a bit better. Got some, and so it's it does absorb the water, so you don't want the fibres to get too wet. There we go. That's a bit better. And I'm just going to come in with a little bit more Tranquil Tide. Sorry, not peekaboo peach even, just to add a bit more shading down here. Okay, and then as always we want to ground our bird slightly, so just a light wash. Make him look like he's standing in a, or she's looking like she's standing in a puddle. It's a puddle of tranquility. Oh, I'm a bit mad today, apologies. My friend Amanda does say I'm mad. She's not right, of course. Anyway, there you go, there's our bird finished. You could of course use any image you wanted for this, just as a focal image, but as I was challenged to use these, I thought, well, let's just give it a little bit of a go. So there we have our quirky bird in Tranquil Tide and in Fresh Fig, using our new ribbon border punch and some different colour combinations. I think they're okay. They're a bit of fun and a great way of just sending a little note to somebody, perhaps you haven't seen someone in a while. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Do come back and see me again soon, and as always, visit my Stampin' Up shop to get your Stampin' Up supplies. I'd be delighted if you chose me as your demonstrator. HeidiSmith.stampinup.net. Click on the shop button or the store button, and that will get you through to my store. Bye for now. Come back and see me soon.